I'm Em,
And I'm Lex.
and we're thrilled to welcome you to the Ready, Set, Coach podcast.
Now, we're not just your hosts. We're also mamas, entrepreneurs, coaches, friends, and co-founders of the Ready, Set, Coach community.
What began as a pandemic side hustle has blossomed into a vibrant online community crafted by coaches for coaches.
So when we're not immersed in our coaching community on Circle, we're busy managing our other businesses, navigating the ups and downs of life, and of course, recording this podcast.
This is where we dive deep into epic conversations about life, business, coaching,
and everything in between.
So are you ready, Lex?
I'm set, Em.
Let's coach.
Hi, Lexi Smith. Surprise, we're here.
We're here. Oh my gosh, long time no see.
Long time no see. It's been like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 45 seconds.
I don't know. This is like what, our 8th call of the day? I don't know. I was just on a call with a former grad of ours, and she's like, do you have, and I'll tell you about it in a second, but she was like, do you have more time? I'm like, I don't know. I've had a lot of calls today. I'm like, oh yeah, my next call is Emily. Of course I have time. I'm just kidding. We had like an hour break. I'm kidding. It was a joke. But let me brag on this grad for a second and say how much I love these full circle moments. So there's been a few times where Emily and I have needed to hire a service, and if and when there's a past client of ours that we can hire, they're going to be our first stop. We truly do believe in them. Like, we've gotten this insider seat into their business and gotten to know them as humans. So long-winded story leading me up to say, Ashlyn was at her 2-year appointment last Friday, and my doctor was like, you need a sleep consultant. Here's a card for one locally. And I was like, sleep consultant? If I'm going to hire a sleep consultant, I'm going to go to Jillian of Snooze Baby Co. So Jillian was a grad of Ready, Set, Coach when it was a program, and she is an absolutely phenomenal sleep consultant, and I just had my discovery call with her.
Okay, first off, I just want to hear what your like aha moment. Your child is 2 years old. What were your pain points that led you to going, oh my God, I need help?
One, it's been something that I think this is a great conversation. This could be a whole podcast in itself, but I'll keep it short and sweet. So my husband and I have known our child's sleeping patterns are an issue for a long time. Okay, so let me just start there. We already knew we had the problem. Lately, with her birthday approaching, which felt like a milestone, it's kind of been heightened. Plus, I've been noticing the compounding effects for how much lack of sleep I've been getting. Like, my eyes are incredibly puffy. I'm seeing my skin. There's things manifesting physically, again, that I've been kind of ignoring, but are like every day in the mirror, it's like a little harder and harder to ignore. And then when a doctor finally brought it up, when I had someone else other than me basically tell me, you need to address this now, or the longer you wait, it's going to be harder, a doctor that I trusted, then it was like, okay, let's begin this process. So now I just did the call with her. I'm bought in. Now I need to present to I'm part of a marriage where we are co-purchasers here. And he doesn't know who Jillian is.
I'm like, babe, do you want to sleep again? Do you want me to be nice to you? All right, cool. I just gave you your 5th-year anniversary present.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's such a good conversation to have too, to scroll to the squirrel. Which types of services, and what type of decisions a spouse is involved in. And for us, for parenting, we're very, we live together, we're married. This is a co-purchase decision, and I need him to be bought in, like, in order for this to work.
I feel like he also needs to be participating in the program. Like, he needs to be learning the sleep procedures, and he needs to be an active student. He's not like a passive student who you're going to send him the replay to. He needs to be part of the journey. And I'd say similarly, when we had a doula, that was something I was like, I want support. I don't want you to be the only one there. And this is important to me. Let's interview some people.
And what I really appreciate about Jillian is she prefaced the call and, like, in an email, and then again at top of call, saying she doesn't want me to feel any pressure to make any decision right now. In fact, I shouldn't. I really should take the time to think about it with my partner. And I respected that because yes, this is first off, this is a big decision. And when it's talking about your child, again, in a situation like mine where there's two parents who are equal participants, that's not a decision that if you know, if it wasn't Jillian and it was, let's say, Susie making me feel any sort of way to give her an answer now, it would have been a huge turnoff for me and like a quick deal breaker.
1,000%, which please reference our buying styles and sales episode to learn more about what works for people and what doesn't. But Lex, that actually reminds me about when you have a problem and you're in your business and you're doing things manually. So you're struggling with like sleep, you know, you're struggling with putting your kid down, or you're struggling with keeping her down, and you're Googling, you're trying to put together and band-aid together solutions. Well, that's kind of like systems and introducing systems into your business.
Are you
Maybe
just the transition person now? Did you just fully assume that role on this show?
help me out. I'm stumbling on my transition. But no, I do think
Tools, like what tools we have available to us to solve problems.
because some of them are free. Like there's so many free tools available. And then there reaches a point where you need to invest in a tool that can help streamline and systematize and smooth over your systems.
So good. And actually, by the way, Jillian's like the A+ star student because as she's walking me through the sales call, it's like, yes, you nailed that part. Yes, you nailed that part. And one of the things we brought up and she acknowledged is I told her, like, if there's like a free blog on this topic, if there's a free download, I have read it. I have done what I can on the Freeniverse. Is that a thing? The Freeniverse universe? I made a thing. Trademark.
Your freemium.
Yeah, and freemium. And she acknowledged that. And she's like, knowing that you're someone who's consumed a lot, like, let me address like some potential questions that I already feel like you might, you know, or frustrations you might have. If you've tried so many things, why will this work? And she really leaned into that objection. Anyways, go to say the value of letting tools help your life. So today we're going to talk about what tech and tools we're using in our business, Ready Set Coach community right now, what's working and honestly, what's not working too.
Yeah. Or things that we would like to reinvent. And if you have solutions, please, please, please let us know. Okay, Lex, I'm going to talk about top of show. And this is one of my favorite, like mind blowing apps when I figured out this app. And there is a freemium version of it. And freemium means like you can get this for free and then you reach a certain number of things, then they start charging you money for it. So the first app that I want to talk about is Zapier. And when I heard about Zapier, gosh, I probably heard about it like when I started my business a few months in, as I was band-aiding things together in a really, 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 really clunky way. Zapier is like a translation device between apps. And it basically is an API store, which I like to think of it as a rainbow bridge that makes sense of one app to the next app. And so when an email is sent to this person, then they get a onboarding thing in our circle community, or so on and so forth. So like all of these things can happen. And I think Zapier is one of the coolest apps. I also think it is one of the freaking hardest apps. What do you think, Lex?
So many feelings and thoughts, guys. I think that was a brilliant overview. I actually introduced Zapier to an agency client recently, and I was like, it basically makes your systems talk to each other. So like a use case of that, let's say someone purchases something in Stripe, we can set up a Zap or an automation where they automatically get added to our email newsletter. Okay, so that's an example. Like Stripe is now talking to MailChimp thanks to Zapier. What I don't like about it, everyone and their mom, is I don't like their newest interface. They're trying to really lean into AI when I found it simpler before. However, maybe this is like the millennial or like the older person in me coming out. Like anytime an app like really changes its user face, I'm like, stop, why'd you do that? Go back.
Like your phone, my phone just everything changed recently. It like forced me to do an upgrade, and I don't know how to drive it anymore.
I hate it. I hate it. I would prefer, and then eventually I appreciate it.
And
But
then you
right
love
now, Zapier, I don't appreciate their AI universe or interface. I always go back to old one.
it.
So Zapier is a gift. Zapier also, Zapier, let me rephrase this. Zapier did nothing wrong. Hi, I'm the
You're the problem.
problem. It's me.
No, I think there's a learning curve with Zapier. Like it's really frustrating when a developer is like, bing, bang, boom. I just set up 17 zaps where you're like, that took me 7 hours and I haven't had water and I'm still
Well,
not sure if that's right.
I don't think Zapier's challenging to set up. What I think it's challenging to do is to remember all the zaps you did set up. And that is where Emily and I just got caught. And I'm going to call myself out on this.
Look at you.
We're selling our conference right now. And I had a bunch of zaps set up to onboard people when they purchase our launch pack, separate product. So the zap was basically
To
when
Stripe.
someone purchases a product in Stripe, which that was the only product in Stripe we had, then add them to MailChimp to this workflow. Well, I didn't realize that Zap wasn't separating products. So everyone who was buying a conference table ticket from Stripe, which is a new product, was also getting access to the launch pack. And yeah, it was a whole thing. We fixed it this morning, but
Yeah.
I guess human error there, right? These tools are only as strong as the human behind them.
Well, you think they can mind read at this point, that's the next AI feature I'm looking for is mind reading automations, but beggars can't be choosers. So Lex, so you mentioned in Zapier, we mentioned MailChimp and you mentioned Stripe. So I'll touch briefly on MailChimp and then we can dig deeper into other solutions. When Lex and I first started Ready Set Coach, we both were using our own preferred email provider, newsletter provider, CRM provider. I still don't know what the right word is for this.
Email marketing,
Email marketing software tool, something like that.
newsletter person thing,
Yeah,
person.
the thing that sends the people the stuff. And we chose MailChimp because we were experimenting. Like we're like, ooh, we don't want to be spending money on an email service when we have 2 people on our newsletter. And so at the beginning, if correct me if I'm wrong, Lex, it was free.
It was free. Free
It was
dollars.
free. It was free dollars. So we're like, oh, this is our solution. It was free and then it wasn't free. And that is something, I think they stopped making it free because we wanted to do more automations. Is that correct?
And we got more people on our list. Yeah.
And we got more people on our list. So those were 2 things that helped us decide, helped us decide on a system that worked for us in terms of like the lifestyle. And it's still a price point that I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
Hey everyone, Lex here.
And Em.
And if you haven't heard, we did something pretty darn cool.
We sure did. We launched a completely free community built specifically for coaches.
Say it again for the people in the back.
We launched a free community for coaches. Tell them quickly who it's for and what we're doing inside, Lex.
Sure thing. So it's for anyone from the coaching curious to side hustlers to coaches ready to scale. And through the virtual platform that we've built, we've created a safe and fun space to learn, launch, grow, connect, ideate, collaborate, vent, and evolve together.
Nailed it, Lex. Now, while it's free, you must apply in order to gain a free membership. So we can make sure everyone inside is awesome, like us.
Apply today at readysetcoachcommunity.com. What it was of us was very short-sighted. So, and I don't blame us for that because when we first started this business, it was kind of experimental. We didn't really know what legs it was going to have. We didn't go into this saying, oh my gosh, this is going to, become what it is today.
Yeah.
But now the problem about being short-sighted, and you've been warned, is we have so many workflows and so many campaigns and so many things built into MailChimp. It would be such a big lift to move away.
Totally. Yeah, it would suck.
And I don't like MailChimp, by the way. Sorry, MailChimp. If you're listening to this, you cannot sponsor this podcast. Actually, you can totally come sponsor. Just
We
kidding.
love you,
Don't.
Milton. You're the best. Come on down.
But
They
it's
were
clunky. It's not
clunky.
intuitive. We both don't like it. But why we haven't moved away is because we have too much skin in the game.
Yeah. Unless you are an intern and you're so interested in helping us transfer it over to another provider, we haven't found the solution that works right for us in the things that we need at this moment in time. Which brings me, Lex, to, I'm going to say QuickBooks. I know I had
Well,
mentioned
you said
Stripe.
you brought up Stripe. Yeah.
know,
So
I
let's
know,
go
I
there
know.
for a second.
Well, MailChimp is owned by QuickBooks. So fun
Is
fact.
it really there? Which is
Mhm.
owned by Intuit,
Mm-hmm.
which my brother-in-law works for. I did not realize MailChimp was owned by them. Huh.
Yeah, that's why we
Huh.
hate the clunkiness of both of them. Anyways, back to Stripe. Okay, Stripe. Stripe is a really versatile tool. So if you are on Squarespace or if you're on WordPress, there is most likely some sort of plugin available to Stripe. So for those that aren't familiar with Stripe, it's essentially the language from receiving your payment, or it's a tool to receive your payment and then to process your payment, take a portion of your money, and then deliver it to your bank account. That integrates.
Payment processor.
Yeah, that's a nice way of saying it. Yeah. Mhm.
Well, and there are more bells and whistles. Like you can send voice
Voice notes,
invoices, you can set up product links, you can set up coupons,
subscriptions.
subscriptions to a point. It's you don't have to pay to have an account. Again, low barrier to entry. But they do, which you already highlighted, the way they make their money is through transaction fees. I do think it is what it offers that QuickBooks doesn't, which is another platform that we do have for bookkeeping and invoicing for more higher ticket items. I don't believe you can create the, I'm going to like bite my tongue on this. Maybe you can, but I don't think in QuickBook you can create forward facing product. You probably
You
can.
can. You have to pay for a higher tier.
Got it. That's
And we
why.
don't have the higher tier. And that's the other thing. So you think about like when you were starting a business, and the reason we decided to have this episode recorded today or to think about it is there's often so many decisions you have to make. And there's that moment where you're like, oh, I can just Venmo charge and that's cool. And it's just without a fee, but then that's not looking professional. And that's not really a great way for tracking. So then you start investigating other ways to receive money or to send money or to have a membership and whatnot. And so we're sharing with you again our learnings as we too went through these processes for creating our business with it being created on a hypothesis.
So we have Stripe and QuickBooks, which
Yeah.
is, a little counterintuitive, but here we are.
I hate QuickBooks. I really
I
do.
do too. I really hate it. Our bookkeeper likes it,
Yeah.
so that's why we're still on it. I'm on it for invoicing for the PR bar and growth mode as well, but yeah. Anyways, I
just-
digress. Okay, let's move on to something a little bit sexier. Let's talk. I don't know.
I can't
Let's talk
wait.
about something I think we did right. So we talked about a lot of like short-sighted things. I think it was a year ago. What?
I'm just kidding. Oh, okay. Okay. I see where you're going.
You see what I'm doing?
Yeah, I see where you're going.
About a year ago, I decided personally to invest in upgrading my project management tool for my PR companies. I decided to also have, because my podcast producer for the PR bar does podcast producing for RSC, I had the person I hired to help me with the system migration, because I did hire someone because it was a huge lift,
Oh my God.
create out processes and workflows for RSC. So for the podcast production of Ready Set Coach, everything is managed in ClickUp, and it is a very well-oiled machine.
It is. And guys, I came to ClickUp crying and kicking and screaming and resisting. Back to the earlier start of our conversation where change is not easy. And it's not something that we're quickly like, oh, we're in, we love it. And Lex and I both have our slow moving kind of feelings on things. So yeah, I do like ClickUp and I think it's a really cool tool. And there is a free version available too. So it's my understanding.
I don't know. Because
I'm gonna
I don't know, because I just when I went over to it, I was already on paid.
mm,
Um,
I have a free version for SDS that I created after I was so inspired by your evolution. Although I have to say, a project management tool that I really want to start digging into, and I haven't given myself the time to really focus on it, is Notion.
I knew you were going there.
I
I have a
know,
lot of clients who use them. I
so hot right
appreciate them
now.
using it, but this could be I it's not something I'm migrating to personally at this
Well,
point in
you're
time.
on ClickUp, so I get it. But I also pay for I don't pay for Trello, and there's so many things that I'm now like, oh, I think I'd be curious about a new way to look at things. But then you have a paywall there.
Yeah.
Also,
So project management tool, um,
is a
yes,
yes. You have to have something, pay for it, don't pay for it, but do it.
yes.
I'm gonna squirrel for a second. I've been teaching my son how to say so hot right now, and it's adorable.
Where did that come from? That you're looking at me and I look so hot right now?
Well, you look so hot right now. Not like he's catcalling people and saying so hot right now, but like, Trello or Notion, so hot right now.
Oh, so I got it. I see
Yeah,
what you
like in Zoolander,
transitions.
so hot right now.
Adorable. I need a video. We all need a video.
It's cute.
Actually,
And then
there's your next real idea.
yeah, and then he goes, "Oh my goodness."
Oh my goodness. Hey, speaking of reels, there are a few tools we use for social. The first one you've probably heard of. It's not all that not all that new and sexy. Later.com we do use for scheduling. But two I want to focus on a little bit more because people might not have heard of them. The first one is CapCut. And funny enough, Emily and I use different iterations. So when
I know.
she uses CapCut, I believe you use it in your browser. I don't recognize it at all. CapCut has a desktop app as well. There is a free version, and it's a really great editing tool for videos and reels.
Yeah, I hate editing reels, y'all, but CapCut makes it pretty painless to do it. Lexi is actually like a producer in
No, it
CapCut.
still takes me hours. Like,
Hours, hours. Why? Anyone who like we need to create like a coaching reel challenge or something. That's a whole something to hold us accountable. And by us, me accountable, because I'll be like, I'm into it, so hot right now. And then I'll be like, oh my goodness, I hate this.
CapCut so hot right now. What's the other tool? You get to bring this one up because you're the one who introduced me to it.
Oh, Opus Clip. And this is an interesting one because well, fun fact, Lexi was an actress back in the day. You know, she was Oliver in Oliver Twist, very avant-garde, switching
Fifth
genders at a
grade, what
young
up?
age.
In the newspaper.
Local Portland star. What did I watch that was in Portland?
Forest Grove, actually.
Oh my God. Totally remind me to tell you what I watched this weekend. Okay. Anyways, Opus Clip, it was a script. It's like a teleprompter. And so when I am having to script something out, I'm not as keen at remembering every single word. So it's a really cool way to put what you want in your thoughts out and write them
No,
out.
it's not. That's
Yes,
not what it is.
no, it's not. No,
You're
no.
getting confused because earlier today you used a
Yes.
teleprompter thing. What did you use earlier today?
Oh shit. That's what I was thinking it is.
No, okay. Well, Emily looks that up. Let me tell you what Opus Clip is. It auto generates reels for you.
That
You
one.
also introduced me to this. So like we'll put in our full podcast that's I don't know 20 30 minutes and it'll beep boop beep boop boop boop. The AI people will shoot out a bunch of different reel iterations that they suggest are going to be the most catchy. So it like auto generates it with captions.
I forgot. That's what that one is. That one, yeah, it's like us back and forth. Sorry, Big Vu. Big Vu. BIGVU is the teleprompter one.
Here we go. That's
Yeah.
a teleprompter one. So Opus Cut, just to clarify, is something we're using right now or we're playing with. We've played with it on and off to generate captions for and reels
And
with
it's
captions.
paid.
It is well, there's free to a certain amount, but then there's like a water logo mark
Yeah.
thing. You have to pay to get it off. We also just on the caption thing right now, we use otter.ai for our podcast as well. That's another tool for transcription services.
I think
But
they have
then
a
sorry,
big,
it's Big Vu. What did you already say?
Big Vu.
Big Vu.
BIGVU. And that also has a watermark unless you pay for it, or you are Lexi Smith and edit it out like an editing ninja. But oh my gosh, so Lexi, I watched Kindergarten Cop this weekend.
Oh, I've seen
which
that.
It's set not in Portland, but like outside of Portland.
Clackamas?
Oh no, Astoria.
Astoria, that's the beach.
That's the beach. Okay, I didn't know if it was a real place or
Southern?
not.
Yeah, they have. I'm pretty sure they have the Shakespeare festival there.
Festival there. There's a Shakespeare
I have to
festival.
check myself. Okay, last, because we're gonna wrap it up. My favorite tool that we use other ones like Zoom, blah 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 blah, Slack, blah 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 blah. But I want to talk about the platform I'm obsessed with, which is where we built our community. And what's that?
Canva. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, we use
Circle.
Canva too.
We use Canva.
So many tools.
So many tools. I have to say Canva, if you're like, oh, I need to know how to do something, just go to Canva and they probably have a template for it. So before
Yes.
you Google the internet, go to Canva. Circle. So y'all, when we created our group, we did things pretty simple, I would say, on the back end. Like we kept
Mhm.
things in Google folders, and Circle has really been like a level up for us. It has been an incredible way to engage with each other, great way for our members to engage with the broader community. There's sub communities like within the community. I feel like I'm doing
It's a
a terrible.
community membership platform.
Yes, but then I love the fact that we can embed our launch pack, which is our group cohort program, within the community too, but have it locked for purchase only, that only a Zapier will open up when it links to Stripe and yada, yada, yada.
So Circle, so hot right now.
So hot right now. And yada, yada.
So
This is a very professional podcast.
my homework for you guys today is to allow yourself to look at what the paid bundle of one of your favorite systems would do for you. We often can get really short-sighted and want to do everything for free at the beginning. And I think that's smart too. We have to be thrifty
Scrappy.
and scrappy and yeah, all those things. But do yourself the gift of looking at what does the paid, just the next level up look like? And could that make my life somehow easier in business?
Yeah.
That's all. Just look at it. Entertain it.
Entertain it. And Lexi, I didn't take away your homework. So there we go. Took away the transition.
Okay.
The homework's all yours. And you all, thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. And we will see you the next time on the
Ready, Set, Coach podcast. Or we'll see you at the conference, which is on
We'll
May
see you in the
13th. Go get your
conference.
ticket before they sell out. Oh my gosh. Okay, bye.
Bye. If you're enjoying the Ready, Set, Coach podcast, please leave a review wherever you are listening. For more information about Ready, Set, Coach, visit readysetcoachprogram.com.